Good morning, Prabhu.
Hello.
Welcome.
Happy New Year.
Very
Happy
happy
New
New
Year
Year to you.
2026.
Yeah.
Ah,
Very happy New Year.
எங்க
எங்க பெங்களூர் தானே?
பெங்களூர் தான். நீங்க?
Bangalore தான். Bangalore. Still the time has
Okay.
not come to go to Hyderabad, because we were
Ah,
keeping it postponed.
Bangalore is stronger now.
I have to come to your area also. That also I am planning.
Okay.
I will talk to
எப்போ
you a
வரீங்க?
day in advance.
வெல்கம்.
Sure.
அங்கேருந்து நேரா மெட்ரோ இருக்கு. So there
Correct,
is
correct.
no
Purple line, it comes to Kengeri and us.
அங்கேருந்து reaching home is not a
Not
big
a very big
issue.
issue and all.
It's very
We'll do
easy
that.
to come. Okay, வாங்க. ரெண்டு பேரும் வாங்க.
And we have completed the Sundarakandam, because 68 sargas till yesterday. Today we will be having, today being Paurnami, we will be having this night 9 o'clock, this Pattabhishek.
Okay,
We
we'll join.
concluding with the Pattabhishek.
Okay, okay. அது யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்ததா அந்த மெட்டீரியல்?
Oh, very good, very good. Because Tamil material, you had sent last time, and I think you could send, in between. But it was very useful, especially for pronunciation, and not only, you will not be able to access to the original website. This is very useful.
Okay, and
Thank
all
you.
whatever you had guided, I am making it's like a மாதிரி இது மாதிரி இதெல்லாம் நம்ம பண்ணலாம்.
I am getting the benefit of it, because I am able to refer to a lot of people, because who find it so useful, because in not only that, in their day to day also, when they want to do, it's very useful to them.
Easy to read and follow it, improve on that.
Correct. Ease is the important thing, for people to get across. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Okay,
Once again, a very happy new year, and we will commence our proceedings. Om Shri
thank you.
Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyobhyo Namo Namah Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Stititolaya Niyadi Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Viparlimba Viparita Matiprabodhan Vadan Narasya Kritavan Bhuvitatvavadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Manandatirtha Munivaryam Namami पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहैः तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विश्विदावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Welcome, friends, once again to our Kathopanishad journey. We are in the last lap of our Kathopanishad journey. We are now trying to accumulate, all the possible, the takeaways, from the Kathopanishad, as well as in search of finding ourselves, in search of finding the glory of our personal self. We are not limited to this body and the senses and whatever, this is happening around us, the feelings and emotions. We are beyond that. We can transcend and go beyond that and find ourselves. So when Vivekananda was addressing everyone, because during his Vedanta Society addresses, after his famous speech in Chicago, he was trying to first in sort of word he was using is, if only you could know yourself. Because we don't know our own greatness, our own potential, our own possibilities, our own ways, we can expand ourselves into the things, which we want to do in this world, and which is not only going to be satisfying a momentary or sort of a ephemeral happiness, it is going to be keeping you continuously in a state of bliss. You are always going to feel that you are not going to lack anything, and you are not lacking anything, in fact. To find that you don't lack anything, you've got all the potential that is available to you, and all the qualities that should be with the humankind is available to you. But whether you are able to access that, the possibility to access and find out, mine ourselves, find the gold in ourselves, that is what the Kathopanishad is trying to do. So when we have seen, because we have seen, all those mantras, because which was telling us, in the third chapter as it was going. So when you are able to see, because as the luggage in ourselves, the mindset and the thoughts, get the clarity. When it clarity in the sense, you are only focused on the limited idea of what you have to act immediately, which is supposed to be, your duty, which is supposed to be do yourself for living a glorious life. Because the third chapter gives the glorious vision of the life. All these for yes, 12 chapters, they prepared you to have a glorious vision of the life. They wanted you to give you, because all the equipment so that you can equip yourself to have a glorious vision of the life by slowly removing, because all the unwanted, the thoughts, that would have accumulated in us, unwanted ideas, most of the ideas what we think, because absolutely they are not going to be of any use. The ideas what we have, because if we do it, it is likely to happen, if it happens, I will be happy, and then afterwards I don't have to do, because we want to have an end to everything, end to our struggle, end to our efforts, so that finally we will have, all that lives is the happiness, hereafter, it is only a all path of roses, garden of roses. We don't have to worry about anything. That's what, as a human aspiration comes, because you think, you don't have to do anything, and we forget the basic nature. The human being is, you will have to act, continuously act. There is no question of stopping your action. You have to continuously act. How you are going to act? When you are going to act, you will be bringing in all your vibrations potential into focus, and through that, you will be acting. At that point of time, you will be continuously enjoying the journey. The life is to enjoy the journey, not the destination. We are not going to reach a destination and going to be remaining idle and looking at the things. We are continuously be enjoying the journey. The life has to be enjoying, to be the journey, to be right from our beginning till the end. There is no question of, taking a rest and all. You will have to act, but you will be acting in your own way. What you are doing the act, as an infant will be different from what you are doing as a grown up, and once you reach a old age, and your actions will be different. Then continuously be you will going on doing it. When you are doing it, you will be elevating yourself, in the journey you are doing it. You will be going through the lot of terrains, undulations will be there, but your journey will always be enjoyable, because you have taken the journey. Most important, how to lead this life. The glorious vision of life is how to run this life gloriously, because with myself as well as all others with me, so that everyone does have a glorious vision of the life and a glory of the life. This is what is being. It is something, let be thinking, it is some sort of an ideal situation. How is it possible? Because in a day-to-day life, we have got so many struggles, so many things and all. That is why, in order to have a better idea of what is the real happiness, during our journey, Kathopanishad has given lot of similes, and they have tried to do that. In the previous simile, it is said, because when you are trying to have a vision of the life, because as you grow, because your vision of the life will not be so clear, because you will be clogged, with a lot of ideas and all. That is why, it gave last mantra. In fact, what we have seen in the last mantra 2.3.5, what it says, the perfect clarity is possible only when we train our mind. All those, because when we sattvic desire, what we think about, the idea focused on what is to be done, what is immediately in front of me, full mindfulness, and giving all my energy, that, takes away all the cobwebs. You will not be thinking about, what will happen. If I couldn't do it, what am I to do? Because it will not take you or distract you, from the focus what you are having, because you will not be losing the focus. You will not be distracted. When you do that, then what a lot of clarity comes. You will be only focusing on what you are doing. You will not be bothered about, what is likely to happen or what is going to happen. But when you are trying to give the best will not naturally come back to you. It can't go anywhere else. When you give the best of your efforts, that will have to come back, and it is the law of equality. It is the divine law. It will be coming to you. But then, you are not going to be rest assured. Right? You are not going to be sort of the be all and end all with this. You will be continuously focusing on the next possible things. So the life will have to go one after the other, as it is going. Why? Because there are so many masters, so many acharyas. Why they are continuously being following whatever they are doing, whether they are doing the prayer or puja or the discourse, or they are going around all over the places. Because once they do it, once the vibration is spreading all around, the vibration of the people around them, because gets magnified, each one will be able to offer to the best. You just imagine a country, if every person is able to give his best, the country only can go, because several layers higher in terms of everything, be in terms of prosperity, and be in terms of the life, be in terms of the happiness index, or be in terms of the resource allocation, be in terms of the having a pure air, pure water, and the everything available, because conveniently to everyone, and the life becomes an enjoyable thing, and life becomes available not only to us, the flora, fauna, and all other animals, everyone can live in this. So when that happens, when you are focused so much on what you are doing instead of bothering about what others are doing, will I be able to get the same thing, what other person is going to get, or will I be able to get, what I should be getting it because of all my efforts? You will not be bothered. But if these things clog, you will not have a clarity of yourself. That's what they said. The perfect clarity is possible only in the mind is fully trained. And they gave, because the three similes, the clarity will be, because for those sages, who got the clarity of the mind, that will be perfect. And they will be able to see as if you are able to see in the mirror itself. The mirror, without any dust, because with a very fully sparklingly clear mirror will reflect your figure as best as possible, as if it is real lifelike. You will be able to see that. But if there is not that much of a clarity, because if we are having it, it is something like you will be able to see in the wobbling waters. The wobbling waters, the figure will be available, but it will not be clear. That means, because we have got the miles to go. That's what say in Pitraloka. In Pitraloka, when you say, when you are going to have the unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled ambition, and what happens is naturally you will have to come back to this world and have it fulfilled and grow yourself. So naturally, at that point of time in Pitraloka, your clarity will be like seeing yourself in the wobbling water. And the next section in the Gandharva Loka. Gandharva Loka is the one, where you have elevated little more, and a little more clarity is there, but then it is still not all that clear, because still you are, in the celestials, who are giving the fine music and dances and all like this, where the mind is looking for little indulgence, because to find what is that happiness and all. The clarity will be there, again, it will not be all that clear, it will be like a hazy, you will not be. But then, because finally you attain, because you give up everything, finally you see what they call it Brahmaloka, because there's a Krama Mukti, what they say. When you have gone through all the births, you are destined. When you have gone through all the journeys, which you have gone through, and, finally, you have been unassailed by, whatever has happened, you are like a Gibraltar, rock of Gibraltar. You have been steadfast, in your the process of journey which you have undertaken. When it happens, that is, finally they say, your possibility of reaching Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is as if in the daylight, when you were able to see the tree in its three dimension, as well as you will be able to see the shadow of the seal. You will be able to see everything clear. That means the clarity is so high, you will be able to see everything yourself. Swarupa Jnana. You will be able to see yourself with such a clarity. Then you will realize, how, because the life has been wasted, all unwanted thoughts, unwanted possibilities. I know likewise, because every worry, every thought, what we are going to, because they are not required to be, it is not, they are not supposed to be contaminating yourself. But then, because our senses have taken us there, and we have allowed the senses to indulge in these things, we couldn't see the reality of the experience. The experience is real, but then what we have learned, because that is not real, we still carry the ideas. So that is why, because this final idea that comes to us, look, whatever, is there, finally I should be able to be unto myself and see what is inside me, who is driving me to do all those things. I am not the doer. I am getting it done by this power which is within me, which is activating all my senses. The senses are doing their job, but then I should be able to learn this from what the senses are doing and use the senses accordingly. I will not always be, because opening my eyes and seeing. But whenever I have to hear something good, I have to give the ear, I have to give to those things, my ear fully. I should be able to listen carefully. I should not be only hearing. I should be able to listen, internalize, and understand that. Because when I am able to speak, should be able to speak, what the best I can speak out of my mouth. Because I should not allow, any of the unwanted, the words or any unwanted sounds to come out of that. Likewise, the sense and sensibilities, when they are under control, when they are being allowed to function, but at the same time they are functioning as desirable as possible, then, because you are able to have the final vision of yourself, that is what they are telling. Then, because the next mantra, what we have seen is 2.3.6, it is the page number 129. We have already seen this verse, briefly. So the indriyanam pritak bhavam, because all the indriyas, eyes are doing a certain function. Eyes have got, because the instrument, the golaka, the tube on every one of our face, it is there. But then it is being activated by the power inside, the driver, the software inside. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Who is activating these eyes? Who is activating the mind? Who is activating, all those senses? That power is different. That is the software. That is the driver. We may be having the eyes. If a blind person is not able to see, even if his eyes are open, because his software is not functioning. But we are fortunate enough when we have got all the faculties are functioning, when they are all able to give, the best of their abilities, we are not able to gather the experience, refine it, and put it in our treasure trove of knowledge to take it forward. Basically, this Upanishad explains that eyes will have to be open when it is needed. Eyes will have to be closed when you sleep. All your senses have to be sort of they all have to go to because rest, state of rest. But then the internal power. You are almost in the lap of the internal power. Who is taking care of you? Who is keeping the vibration? Who is taking the breath to happen? And when the breath is happening, then body gets rejuvenated, and next morning, it is able to operate. Then again, your senses will be able to operate more perfectly, and you will have to give them the rest. And your all the senses, can't function simultaneously. You may not be understanding this, because if you really watch, because you will not be, all the eyes can't see and the ears can't hear. You may, TV show, they are giving you the separate sound and the separate visual. Both of them combined together, you are able to enjoy the scene or something like that, but they are different. But then suppose, when you are only you are able to see the video, but there is no sound, it is like a silent movie. So likewise, our senses also can function separately, but then finally the internal power gives them the synchronized activity for us to enable to get the experience of that. Once you understand these senses are different from the internal power who is activating it, the senses are different from the software which is inside, the senses are different from the motherboard which synchronizes all the activities, finally makes you into a personality as a how you act, how you see, how you behave, how you speak. Others are able to perceive your personality because of that. So indriyanam pratak bhavam Udayasta Mayauchayat, because they are all flip flap. They will work when it is needed, when it is not needed, they will not work. Because when you have to see, when you are watching the WhatsApp, your ears will not be working. You will only be seeing, what is there, reading it, and your mind will be taking, whatever information is there. But when you are listening to your music, with your headphone on, because you will have your visual will not be there, but you will be listening to that. But they have got a different function, different ability. But finally, they all come together whenever required, and it is done. But they have got the flip flop on off, like you are switching off the light and all. They do their job intermittently depending upon the requirement. Once you understand that, senses have got a great function, they are totally different from the internal power who is operating it. So you are not the doer, you are getting it done. That understanding will have to come. Having come to that pritak utpadya mananam, so they all have a different origins, because all this when we say, because we have got tattvabhimani devatas, because all those senses have got, because assigned a different deity, to be. Likewise, because in our philosophy, the eyes are supposed to be getting the power from the sun and the moon. The ear is supposed to be getting the power from the space. And because all other all the five elements, the panchabhutas, they have got, they are activating, because body is made of that. Finally they are the one who are giving the power to all those things, the hardware. But the software comes with everyone's ability, because everyone's prarabdha, the karmas they bring about. And someone will be able to, the blind man, he may not be able to see, but he will have a very sharp ears. He may be able to perceive even by hearing the sound what is happening, and all. Because that ability has been given to him, because the God divine law of equality is there. When one is not there, he makes it up with others so that you are able to function effectively in this world. So, Padya Mananam Matva Dhirana Sochati, because once you understand these senses are different, and because the internal power is different, and the senses of God are function, because senses may be appearing to be there on everyone, but their functions may be different. Someone will be having a sharp listening. A musician will have, because such a fine listening, he will be able to differentiate between the very fine notes. For uninitiated like me, I will not be able to sort of find the difference between the subtle notes. I will not be able to see, this guy and that guy, what they will be telling and all, because that is exactly, because God given powers. It comes with you. So, Vundriyanam, Prithak Bhavam, Udayavastu, Ichayat, Prithak Utpadya Mananam, Matva Dhirana Sochati. Once you understand that, you will not. See, it has got two important concepts in this, because when you see, because what is the need? Because one of the most important thing is to understand ourselves. If only could know yourself, and as Vivekananda said, why should I understand myself? I think if having come to this world and when so many things are there, is it it's necessary for me to spend, I waste my time on knowing what is the self and all, what is the Paramatman, and as they would say, what is the internal power and all, why should I be knowing? If I available, because if whatever is there, for me to get into this world and enjoy, or, what is available for me to experience, let me experience and enjoy. Why should I bother about it? See, that's also, because that stands, people can tell, why is there, because this all Upanishads and scriptures, why should I understand myself? This is a very fundamental question. Why should he be doing, because anyone, who have not been initiated, who has seen it, as some esoteric people talking, in some sort of a scriptures, it is there, they are talking about it, but the real practical world, it doesn't apply to me. That maybe the people may be doing that. Let me enjoy whatever I have come, because I've got a good restaurants around, and I have got everything available, and I will be able to see that. Let me do that, because okay, that who is interested, let them do it. Let me go about my job. That is also one point of view. But is it really a point of view? You see, because that is only a stance you are taking it. You are using the senses. When your eyes have a problem, you go to your doctor. When you have a problem, you go to your doctor. Why do you go to doctor? Because you want to function, senses to function. Because senses, because will have to function properly for you to live in this world. If you are not able to hear, if you are like a duffer, you will not be able to interact with your own kith and kin. If you are not able to see properly at all, because you will not be able to go about doing things, you need someone's hand, to help you, and someone has to help you. Once then you go to the doctor, or whoever is there, you get the senses, because of the object, sense objects, corrected, and try to have it and all. But then finally, when they give the experience, you are not able to understand. That is the enjoyment you see. They are giving you every moment to elevate you to understand more in them. Once you have having, because knowing the self is very important, in the sense that is the power all around, irrespective of the religion, caste, creed, race. And that is always, because to know the power, which is operating to you, that gives you the ability, that gives you the potential. If you don't understand that, you see, I am able to enjoy, all my senses are active and I am doing it. But when the senses fail, they will be at some point of time. What happens, because finally, because the senses are there, they are called ephemeral, they give you the experience, but you will not be able to see the reality. How, because the reality is being, why you say it is reality? I'm able to see everything, everything is available to me. So fine, so many fine things have been made for me. The world is for me. I am here to enjoy. Why are you taking? That's only a stance you are taking. That's not a really your understanding. See, why not enjoy? A doubt can be, if you have a doubt, because why should I know the self, why so many people are doing it, then the doubt can be cleared slowly by telling you about yourself, your own quality of experience and what you should be getting it and all that can be explained. But if you take a stance, when all these things are available, why should I be wasting my time and all? The stance can't be changed. That is, because like a pretension. The pretension cannot be eliminated. A pretender cannot be woken up from this thing. If he is pretending to be asleep, you can't be. But you will know only when one of the senses fail, one of the senses dysfunction. You will not be able to do that. At that point of time, you will have to understand even the senses to function. There is, you may have everything perfect in your eyesight, but despite that, because still you may not be having the clarity, some smudged vision will be there or somewhere, because then it is something like that, because then the internal power operating, because we'll have to help you out. We'll have to sort of take you, to a full potential. Then only you will be able to do it. So in this process only, because the doubt can be cleared, because why should I know the self? Is it that necessary and all? The doubt can be cleared if you say, why should I do it? And when so many other things are available, that is a stance that can't be cleared. So this is exactly, what is happening. Most of us, because we have fallen into the earlier, because that's what we have seen in the world, because we have been experiencing it. We do because we didn't have the occasion to put ourselves into the mode of clearing our doubts. But as things move, as find reasons are failing, when you have sufficient reason to succeed, when you find reason fails, faith begins. Faith in the sense, faith in yourself. You don't have to have the faith on someone, who is telling, your, because the pastor is telling or your guru is telling, not that you don't, you have to see for yourself. Believing yourself is finding your own power. The power which is operating to you. Once you understand that, you will, that is the day, the dawns, the spark of, spirituality grows in you. The spark of spirituality once sets into you, it grows into a phenomenal fire and glows, takes you to the glorious, vision of the life, and then you will be, nothing can stop you from going, fully into the mode in which you will be sort of getting into the highest possible, sort of realization of yourself. Realization of yourself is the realization of the God. Without realizing yourself, you will not be able to realize the God. So this is exactly, and the dissimilarity of the senses, because when we talked about and all, why, because if why you are telling, that world, when so many things are real, that experiences are happening, why it is not, all that they are not, you are not able to differentiate the reality and all. Yes, they are all real. They are ephemeral real. They are continuously changing. Reality is there. Reality has got different stages of reality. But then the reality, because if you take one experience as a real, what you experienced as an infant, the same experience when you have experienced as a middle-aged person, grown-up person, that will be different. What you are learning will be different. See, because your way of approaching it will be different. As a still older, the same experience will have a different meaning. That means they are not the same one, because the reality of it, you will be able to see finally they are all ephemeral. Once you come to know, you will be going into the source of that reality. How it, because the reality is there. Sadagamaika Vignayam Samati the Characharam. I may be having all the knowledge of the scriptures and all. Finally, the Pratyaksha, my own experience will have to vouch for whatever I have learned. So that is what, more important to us. That experience is what more important to us. So once the experience, you will find, because what you consider to be the ultimate reality will not be the ultimate reality. As a child, you would have enjoyed the ice cream, but as a grown up, you will not take ice cream, because more than one or two you may not take. It is going to be, your stomach is going to be affected, or you are going to have catch cold and cough, and your system may not be accepting it. Then you will be limiting it, because every experience will have a limit of the possibilities. After that, it doesn't mean, anything good to you, because you'll have to give it up. That means it is ephemeral, it is not going to be permanent. Once you know that, once slowly know that, this is called avidya. Avidya is the knowledge, but it is not the knowledge, as a child, because you will think, if you get 100 pieces of ice cream, you will be taking 100 sort of a cups of ice cream, you will be taking it and all, but you will not be able to take more than one or two. And once you've grown up, even ice cream may not be so good in particular climate, and you may not be taking it and all. So as you grow, you find out and all. So that slowly the avidya is the one, the knowledge, it gets more clarified. Avidya is the knowledge without complete, because the component of what is the reality. The vidya is the one where the complete component of reality comes about. So basically, it is when you see the reality, avidya is, because the potential of the object, you will not be able to realize unless you gather, because the ultimate, the knowledge, which you have, which you are deserved to get, as it will be a continuous process, because your experience will go on and giving you the clarity and all. So that at that time, because this avidya is still. So what avidya, because when you don't understand that, because the same ice cream will create a desire in you. So what avidya does, it creates a desire, kama. Avidya, then kama comes. Then once you do that, you try to get, you do the act to get the ice cream. Somehow you will have to get it. Hell or high water, I will have to get the ice cream. That's what happens. So avidya, kama, and karma, they are all consequential act based on the ignorance that comes about. Ignorance, ice cream is tasty. But ice cream beyond certain point is not tasty, because likewise, when once you know you like the ice cream, anyway, every time you see the ice cream, it creates a desire, then you makes you to act, to get that, that is avidya, kama, karma. So that's why the avidya, kama, if you have got 5 fingers, it is avidya, kama, karma, and it is jiva, and this is paramatma. So that is why Jiva and Paramatma, when you do Chin Mudra, finally, when you get closer to that, you get the highest possibilities. You get, to realize the grace of the God. But whereas in avidya, kama, karma, they are there. They are three. They are not allowing you, because if you give it up and then both can go together. But if they are there, they will be like this. So the avidya, kama, karma will be there. And people put the tripundra, because why the tripundra? What that it means, 3 lines, because all these the followers of Shankara and others, because all those who put Tripundra, even Tripundra is in our Shastras as it is. Tripundra is avidya, kama, karma, to put it, because that all the three, because the Tripurantakaraka, when Shiva is called, with the one arrow, he destroyed all the three, avidya, kama, karma. So the avidya, kama, karma, and we will go into the details of it, because how in the Yoga Sutra, the avidya, kama, karma has been dealt in our Yoga Sutra, because Kathopanishad is considered to be the expostulation of the yoga. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is being fully explained in Kathopanishad, because there is one approach of that. That approach of it we have seen, intermittently. We have not seen because in plenitude that we will be seeing as we go about. So the avidya, kama, karma is the three component. That is, because in Urdhva Pundra, whoever is putting it, the 3 lines, in their stomach, that is also avidya, kama, karma and all. So the avidya, kama, karma, look, because you're being controlled. And as you are Urdhva Pundra, as you go up, because finally in the cart, because in the Akasha, Hridaya Akasha, there is, the divine power, the eternal force, who is guiding you, the Paramatma, who called Narayana, as we call it, whatever it is, he is there, he is trying to take away on all the kama, karma, and as you elevate, it is coming to your Agnya Chakra here, and once come here and through the Sahasrara, you are able to realize. And with the both hands, when you are doing the karma which you are being, you will only be Sat Karma. Kurvate karmayat pritaye sajjanaha. Because we will have to act, we can't procrastinate. But whatever we do act, will have to be in conformity with everyone's, because requirement. So Prichaye Sajjana. Sajjana is the one, who are only doing the things, which is going to benefit the world and people around us. It's not going to cost anything. Because that once you get into such a mode of activity, whatever you are doing, will be offering to the God, and whatever you will be getting will be the prasad from God. So once that comes, that is the surrender. Finally, when you surrender, you understand that you are not the doer. You are only simply getting it done, because you are only an instrument to getting it done. In that process, you understand your senses are different and sensibilities are different. Sensibilities create the desire in the object. Senses are the one, because you get first to see, the avidya. It gives an attraction. The longing to get that, the sensibilities, saptasparsha, rupa rasa gandha, the touch, the smell, hear, see, and all these, because they finally create, and finally, when you get into that, you do the act. Avidya, kama, karma, they come about, and finally, once they commit, that avidya, removal of the avidya is considered. Once it is removed, and all other things automatically go off. So that's why, because what we explained, Tripundra and Urdhapundra, because the Namam and whatever denomination people do it, the meaning is that. That is what finally we take it up. It is sort of a yoga, because in Bhagavad Gita, all the 18 adhyayas have been given the sort of a nomenclature of yoga. Arjuna Vishada Yoga, first one. The next is Sankhya Yoga. So the next is Karma Yoga. And it comes one after the other. The Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And likewise, because give up the, like everything is a yoga. The life is itself in this yoga. How this yoga is exemplified in Kathopanishad, we are going to see in the forthcoming mantras, and starts from this mantra and even the earlier mantras also. The concept has been slowly ingrained as a thread of thought all through, and finally, we will be seeing, because this is the one, finally take us to the ultimate, realization of ourself, ipso facto, that of the God realization, what people call it. Irrespective of the denomination, it is Advaita, Visishta Advaita, Advaita, Suddha Advaita, or all other nomination, Pushti Marga, all those things finally culminate into knowing yourself, realization of the God. The same thing was happened to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had one of the famous, one of the ultimately realized Sishya called Turyananda. He was the one who, the most authentic, who was with Ramakrishna, all those things. So in those days, because the one question was asked to the Turyananda, because Ramakrishna himself has explained in so many sort of a Kathamrita, Ramakrishna Kathamrita, he has explained so many things. So when someone wanted to have the doubt clarified, because they asked Turyananda, what is this? Because Ramakrishna has practiced Christianity, he has practiced Islamic, he has also practiced Advaita, and he has also practiced Visishta Advaita, even Dvaita concept also is, what is that? And someone, because there was also, there is a popular analogy they used to say, because in the proponents upon the Advaita philosophy is being emphasized, it is like a ladder. First, Advaita, then you go into next stage is Visishta Advaita, next Advaita, because like they say, it is how you get into that. Turyananda, it's not that. The ladder can be reversed also. You can find whatever may be. Does all that thing doesn't matter and mean at all. Whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Jew, whether you are a Hindu, whether you are a Dvaita, Visishta, all that you will have to finally realize your own potential, your own Swarupa Jnana, your own God realization. That is the ultimate you will have to do. That's what we have attempted, all these things. And we will be seeing. Therefore, there is nothing, because we should not be, you cannot be wasting the time on this, which is great, which is not. Because finally, you don't know yourself, and what is that, you are going to see, which is great and all. Finally, first, try to love you. Finally, try to learn you. And unless you are full of love, you will overpower, overflow with love. You will not be able to share the love. You will not be able to share your energy and vibes with others. This is what is more important, because that has been considered to be ultimate, in this. We will be seeing much more, in the forthcoming verses. We have got almost, another 14 verses to go. With this, because I will be concluding today's session. Sahana Vavatu. सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विश्विदावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः